Hi everyone and welcome to English for You. I'm Pat.
And I'm Mike.
And today's article we're going to be talking about elephants. We're going to focus on one particular area, their kind of intelligence and their memory.
Okay.
But what else do we know about elephants?
They're big.
They sure are.
They're really big.
Yep, that's one of the things you notice. Their ears are pretty big as well.
Yes, that's true. They have a very long nose.
Yeah, the ears really do help elephants because they help them maintain their body temperature in the hot places they live.
Absolutely. And actually, the ears are a good clue. If it's an African elephant, the ears are much
even bigger.
Yep. Indian elephants, the ears will be smaller. That's the easiest way, really, to tell them apart. So there you go. And from that, we also learned that elephants live both in Africa and in Asia, but you won't find many in Europe or North America outside of a zoo.
Right. I also find out that elephants are either right or left-hand dominant.
Interesting.
Like we are. I'm right-handed.
Foot, I guess.
Yeah, and elephants have it's their tusks. So that the things we'll talk about these the kind of big teeth that come out of their mouths. They always kind of are more dominant using one and always use one more often as we use our right or left hand.
There you go. Amazing. So make sure when you give an elephant a pen, you put it in the right tusk.
In the right tusk, exactly. And shake hands with it using the right one.
Right.
So otherwise it'll all get confusing.
That's right.
Okay, well that's some of the physical stuff. This article is all about elephants' mental, their kind of intelligence, mood, memory, personalities, and that kind of stuff. Let's read through and find out more.
Reading.
The elephant's memory, a key to survival and making friends. An elephant never forgets. It's a saying you'll hear in some English-speaking countries. But unlike most cute sayings, this one is literally true. The impressive memory of an elephant is an important sign of its intelligence. Elephants can recognize every member of their herd by sight or smell. This helps them while they're traveling in groups. They also remember where dangerous situations occurred long after their first visit. When elephants cross paths with enemies from the past, they can alert others in their herd about trouble nearby. While memory helps elephants with survival, it also helps them form friendships. There is a story about two circus elephants who happily played with each other when they met again after 23 years apart. Elephants can also recognize the humans they've bonded with. At an animal rescue park in Africa, elephants treat the human keepers like part of the herd. One elephant proudly took her newborn baby to the keepers who raised her long ago. She let them take it for walks. These stories show that an elephant's memory helps it relate to animals the way humans do.
So our article starts with, it's a proverb really. It's a popular, well-known saying, an elephant never forgets.
Yeah, this is an expression people might use. You're talking about how an elephant's memory is really, really good or something like that. And as the article says, it's a saying you'll hear in some English-speaking countries.
Yeah, England for sure.
I don't think I've ever used the expression, but I've certainly heard it or read it. And of course, when you hear that expression, you're just like, wow, okay, I guess elephants have a very good memory if they never forget.
Yeah, and then the article carries on and says, but unlike most cute sayings, this one is literally true.
Interesting. Because we say like, he's as busy as a bee.
Yeah.
But maybe some bees aren't very busy.
That's true. Some of them just hang around at home and look after the queen.
Right.
Exactly. But this saying about elephants not forgetting is literally true. We use literally. What it really means is it's a very exact, 100% true without any kind of different meanings, exaggeration, anything like that. A quick note about this word, if you hear English speakers use it, it's kind of become a little overused in the last sort of 10, 20 years. People will use literally for things that are not literally true.
Okay.
Something like that. You say, I was literally dying out there. No, you weren't.
No.
You felt like it, but it wasn't 100% true. which is what literally means.
That's right. You can use it casually, but be sure that you're using it correctly. And we're going to move on to the next sentence that says the impressive memory of an elephant is an important sign of its intelligence. So yeah, it is true that elephants have great memories. And because of this, and because of experiments or things that people have noticed, this is also an important sign of the elephant's intelligence. All right, so they're very smart, and they also have a very good memory. We know that they're smart because we use that word intelligence, which basically means how smart you are, how well your brain works, how much you remember things, how quickly you learn things, how many facts you know, you keep up in your head, that kind of thing. We go to school to increase our intelligence, and you might read books or visit museums or, learn new things all through your life because your intelligence can always expand, it can always grow, you can always know more stuff. For example, dolphins are known for their high intelligence.
Right.
Dolphins, elephants,
whales,
octopus,
pigs,
whales,
I think.
monkeys, pigs, things like that. These are animals that, compared to many others, are known for being smart, for having high intelligence.
Okay, and here's an example of elephant intelligence.
Okay.
Elephants can recognize every member of their herd by sight or smell. So they see it and they go, yep, that's Dave, we smell it, oh yeah, that's Peter, that's what we know. Because they know everyone in their herd. The word herd is a word for a large group of animals, and we tend to use it for large mammals. We wouldn't say really a herd of cats, we don't say a herd of birds.
No.
But we do say a herd of elephants, a herd of cows, a herd of buffalo.
Sheep.
Yeah, sheep, yeah, we could use sheep. Flock, it works for sheep as well. It's one of those group words for animals. Pack of dogs, school of fish, all of those things like that. So we use herd for elephants, cows, horses, I think.
Okay, sure.
Larger mammals in general.
That's right. And as the article says, this helps them while they're traveling in groups. Yeah, elephant herds can be anywhere between 10, 20, 30, 40, I think would be a fairly large herd. And when you're with that many elephants and none of them are wearing interesting t-shirts or clothing that you can identify them with, you need to be able to identify them or tell them apart, especially when they're traveling in groups. If you've ever been on a tour, you know that you're always like, all right, is everyone here? Did we leave anyone behind? Well, elephants have to do the same thing, so being able to identify each other is very, very useful.
Now in that sentence, we use the word while, and while has many uses. Now in this case, it's used in a similar way to when. This helps them while they're traveling in groups. This helps them when they're traveling in groups. It's talking about a particular situation. We can also use while to indicate a contrast. For example, while my brother loves soccer, I'm not interested in sports at all. Now in this case, it means the same as but or whereas. While can also mean the same as although. For example, while I don't like the cold weather, I hate it when the summer is too hot. So a couple of different ways we can use while there. So recognizing each other is not all that an elephant's memory is good for.
That's right. So yes, they will be able to identify other elephants in their herd, but they can identify other things as too and remember them. It says they also remember where dangerous situations occurred long after their first visit. So they have this memory of the land and the geography of the places around them. And if there was a dangerous situation, even if it was long ago, many years ago, if they went to an area and there's water here, but a bunch of trees where the lions like to hide, the elephants might know, hey, be careful. Last time we were here 3 years ago or whatever, lions jumped out and attacked us, so maybe we should find another place to drink. They will remember stuff like that. We will. Well, actually, I know some people who wouldn't remember things like that, but humans can do it. But I guess for many other animals, after a few days or even minutes or hours, they will forget things like that. But elephants, remember, they never forget. All right, we have this word situation. This is an interesting word. It's a noun, and it's kind of one of those words that can mean a lot of different things. But basically, it's an event, it's something that happened, or it's a way that things just are right now. Well, my situation right now is difficult. I got to work on the weekend, so I don't think I can go out with you guys. That would be a certain type of of situation based on how busy I am, how much money I have right now. If you're having a bad situation in your family, maybe your parents are fighting, that could be something like that too. Or if there was a situation that's causing you trouble, it's maybe just an event, there's a problem going on right now, I have to fix this situation, and then everything will go back to normal. That's kind of what we talk about in the example sentence. I don't know what to do. This is a very strange situation. What's going on? What's happening right now? That's the situation, and this one is strange.
Yeah, and as we said, elephants can remember these situations or events long after they first happened. Yeah. Long after just means a long time has passed between two events. As Mike said, it could be 3 years, could be more, something like that. Yeah. And here is yet another example of elephant memory.
All right, it says, when elephants cross paths with enemies from the past, they can alert others in their herd about trouble nearby. This again is about their memory of danger that maybe happened a long time ago. If they cross paths with some dangerous animals, maybe that group of lions that were hiding a few years ago. To cross paths with someone basically means to meet someone, to encounter them. Sometimes there's some tension there, as if by crossing paths you're going to crash into each other or argue or fight with each other. But it sometimes just means, you know, you're walking down the street and you cross paths with an old friend from school. But it could also mean that maybe that old friend is someone you fought or argued with, and I saw that guy again. I don't like to see that guy. I didn't talk to him, I just walked away. So crossing paths means meeting, but sometimes in a way where there's some tension, where there's some unhappy feelings there.
Yeah, a bit of conflict. Yeah. And when this happens, the elephants will alert each other. To alert somebody is to warn people of something important and usually something dangerous.
Something
you would say,
kind of bad,
watch out for that, don't go there, leave that alone. Hey everybody, pay attention to this thing, it could be dangerous.
There you go, kind of like a warning or something like that. Now back to the article. While memory helps elephants with survival, we've seen how it helps them avoid danger and things like that. So while memory, yes, helps elephants with survival, it also helps them form friendships.
Oh, nice.
Well, that's a good point. If you meet a friend and then immediately forget their face and their name, it's going to be hard to keep that friendship going.
Yeah. Now in that sentence, there was another use of while. As I said earlier, this is one of the contrast. It means whereas. Now this isn't a big contrast, but it is presenting ideas that are slightly different.
And here we have this word survival. Survival is a word we often use when talking about animals, especially endangered animals like elephants. Survival, this noun basically means not dying, living through a situation where you could have died, where something really bad could have happened, but it didn't happen, okay? So to survive, that would be the verb. I survived a fire in my house. I woke up, the room was full of smoke, but I got out before I was hurt. You survived that. So your survival was because you woke up early enough to get out of there. You're not dying in the fire is because you woke up and got away from danger. Let's look at our example sentence. Global warming is threatening the survival of many species. In other words, global warming could kill many different animals. It is threatening the survival or threatening the lives of many different species of animals. It's true.
So we talked about survival. This helps elephants survive, but it also helps them form friendships. The word friendship means the state of being friends with someone. You know each other very well, you like spending time with each other, and there are different kinds of friendships. There could be very close friendships, there could be kind of long distance friendships, there could be friendships that are recent or ones that date back a long time. In this case, in our example sentence, Luke and Paul's friendship goes back to kindergarten. They became friends in kindergarten. They're still friends today. They've got a long friendship.
All right, let's look at a friendship between a couple of elephants and show how memory plays a big part in it. It says there is a story about two circus elephants who happily played with each other when they met again after 23 years apart.
Wow.
So imagine that. These elephants maybe were raised or trained together when they were younger. They were separated, maybe sent off to different circuses. Somehow, 23 years later, they got back together, and just like old friends, hey, they ran to each other. They knew each other right away. It was like all that time had not passed. Their friendship picked up. They couldn't have done that without remembering each other, having a good memory. Here we have this word circus. Circus is, well, it's a circus. It's a noun, of course, but a circus is one kind of special form of entertainment, special form of event. And in a circus, you'll have clowns, you'll have jugglers, you'll have people doing dangerous, thrilling stunts and tricks in front of you. In the past, circuses used to have trained animals. People would ride on the backs of horses or, train lions or make elephants stand up on 2 feet. These days, animal circuses are less and less popular.
That's right.
Because people know that it's not so nice for the animals. But Cirque du Soleil, the famous circus.
That's all acrobats.
It's all humans, and they do lots of
and
amazing artistic performances, but also thrilling and dangerous stunts. And all of that stuff, and it's usually in a big tent called a big top. So if you know what a circus is, if you've seen a circus, that's what we're talking about. For example, we saw a circus performance when we were in Macau.
Cool.
I think Cirque du Soleil is there pretty much all the time.
Yeah, they've come to Taiwan
They come to Taiwan every few years, but if you want to see a circus tomorrow, well, maybe not tomorrow, but soon, I think you can probably catch one in Macau.
So we said that these elephants, they'd both worked in a circus or different circuses, and they had been apart for 20 years. They'd lived apart for 23. They'd had 23 years apart. This word apart means separated by distance or separated by time. For example, a few years ago, my wife lived in Canada. I was living in Taiwan. So we were apart. We were separated by distance. You could also be separated by time. I haven't seen my middle brother for about 3 years because I haven't been back to the UK. So we've been apart by time as well as distance. Now here's another example sentence. Ben and his wife decided to live apart for a while to calm down after their terrible fight. They said, let's go and live in different places. We can calm down, and then after being apart for a bit, we can hopefully get back together. So, elephants make very long friendships and they remember them.
That's right. And it's not just other elephants that they can remember. It says elephants can also recognize the humans they've bonded with. If they had a close relationship to someone in a zoo or someone who was studying them out in the wild, if they made a friendship or a bond with a human, they will also remember that person, their face, their shape, their smell, something like that. But the elephant will remember. This word bond, we could use it as a noun. We're not talking about James. We're not talking about Ling Ling Chi here. No. A bond is a connection you have with someone, often emotional relationship connection, something like that. The bond between mother and child, the bond between two friends, something like that. So we can also bond with someone, that is, make a connection, make a relationship, make a friendship. If you spend a lot of time with each other and you share your emotions and talk and listen to each other, you will bond with that person or that animal.
Yeah, and here's an example of how elephants can do this with humans. At an animal rescue park in Africa, elephants treat the human keepers like part of the herd. Like, you guys are one of us. Yeah. It's great. Now, we've got this word rescue here. Often we use rescue as a verb to mean to save someone from a difficult situation. Rescue can also be used as a noun, and that's the act of doing it, okay? It's a rescue. People come and save people. That is a rescue. A rescue park is a place where elephants or other animals have been rescued from zoos or from working jobs, from circuses, or for other bad situations. They are rescued, there has been a rescue, and now they're living in a park where they don't have to work. They're all rescued elephants living together and with humans that they kind of like, hey, you're one of us.
There you go. And here's an example of the bond between the elephant and its human friends. It says, one elephant proudly took her newborn baby to the keepers who raised her long ago. Just like any proud mother would want her good friends to come over and see her new baby, the elephant did exactly the same thing.
Yeah, and the article says she let them take it for walks.
Oh, okay.
Hey, look after my kid for a while.
Sure.
I know exactly how she feels.
Absolutely. And friends, I'm sure, would come over to your house and say, oh, can I hold him? Can I play with him?
Take him for a few days.
So elephants are just the same. All right, so back to the article. These stories show that an elephant's memory helps it relate to animals the way humans do. And it helps it relate to humans the way humans do as well. Here we have this phrasal verb, to relate to. To relate to is sort of like to bond with, but it's to make a connection, maybe not a friendship relationship connection, but if you read about someone you've never met in another part of the world, but they're having a problem that you've kind of had, even if it's not exactly the same, but the feelings, the emotions are the same, you would say, I relate to that person. I've never had to run away from my home because of a war, but if I really think about it and wow, how would that feel? And you kind of, take a little journey with your feelings and your emotions. You could say, I can relate to that. Maybe I had something similar, or I've talked to someone who had something similar, but I understand more than maybe some other people would because I relate to your problem or your situation.
Okay, well that is the end of day one of our elephant article. We'll be back to see more about them and learn more about them tomorrow. Right now, let's go to our For You Chat question.
For You Chat.
So, our question is quite a simple one today. Have you ever seen an elephant at the zoo, and what do you think about them?
Okay, yeah, sure.
Plenty of elephants.
Seen elephants at the zoo, seen elephants in Africa too. I was lucky enough
I've
to do
seen
that.
some in Thailand.
Oh, okay, there you go. So yeah, in the zoo, I was here actually at the Taipei Zoo, and that big old elephant, I think Ling Wang, might have been his name, he walked over. I had a big group of kindergarten kids, and they were all yelling and screaming because they were so excited, and he walked right up to us, and then he kind of looked me right in the eye, and I just stood there. It was really weird. For about 10 or 20 seconds, he just kind of looked at me. He looked kind of tired.
Yeah.
He looked like the kids were making too much noise, and being the kindergarten teacher, I was like, I'm sorry, man.
You bonded. You could relate to each other.
We bonded a little bit, yeah.
Right.
There you go.
I do like elephants. I kind of have a soft spot for any large animals and any endangered animals, so you do have to kind of like elephants.
Sure.
I don't think anybody hates them at all.
They're amazing.
Okay, that is all we got time for today. Join us again tomorrow for more about elephants. See you then. Bye for now.
Take care.
The elephant's memory, a key to survival and making friends. An elephant never forgets. It's a saying you'll hear in some English-speaking countries. But unlike most cute sayings, this one is literally true. The impressive memory of an elephant is an important sign of its intelligence. Elephants can recognize every member of their herd by sight or smell. This helps them while they're traveling in groups. They also remember where dangerous situations occurred long after their first visit. When elephants cross paths with enemies from the past, they can alert others in their herd about trouble nearby. While memory helps elephants with survival, it also helps them form friendships. There is a story about two circus elephants who happily played with each other when they met again after 23 years apart. Elephants can also recognize the humans they've bonded with. At an animal rescue park in Africa, elephants treat the human keepers like part of the herd. One elephant proudly took her newborn baby to the keepers who raised her long ago. She let them take it for walks. These stories show that an elephant's memory helps it relate to animals the way humans do.
Vocabulary Review.
Intelligence. William gets high marks in math and science, and his teachers are impressed by his intelligence. Situation. Carol was in a bad situation when her car ran out of gas in a remote area. Survival. This new medical treatment offers a higher chance of survival to people who have cancer. Friendship. I had some nice friendships with my classmates while I attended college. Circus. These days, fewer and fewer circuses are using animals as part of their shows. Apart. I did not like living apart from my parents when I had to move to Taipei for school.
字汇小补帖
Literally. Herd. Alert. Bond. Rescue.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作。活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net